case you missed all that because I didn't turn the mic up properly, this is Keith Hayes with Rouser Radio, ahead of Mirador Television's 8:30 appointment with you from the White Hart Hotel in Lewis. And oh, what a day, what a day, what a day. The children in Westminster are squabbling again. You watch, the next thing the scandal will be is that they all put a bunch of dummies, children's dummies, on their expenses to stuff in their mouths and suck on. And instead of drawing in the air that they are at the moment with their disgraceful behaviour, absolutely disgraceful behaviour, this television station calls on 650 members of Parliament, high or low, to resign and to take half the civil service with them. If you want to get rid of the Prime Minister under the present circumstances, then why not get rid of absolutely everybody? So we'll be leaderless. And that's what will happen if Boris goes. Do they care? Not a bit of it. Much better to play politics. To hell with the country. To hell with the fact that we're at war, and that the war is going badly now for the Ukrainians, and that Boris has threatened to point some of his rockets at us. Forget all that. Vladimir, I meant, not Boris. Let's forget all that. Let's forget that the cost of energy is such that some of us won't be able to use lights, and thank God it's summer, because we most certainly couldn't have heat. And let's forget that inflation is not only galloping, but racing as hard as it possibly can, as if it had kept them. And let's forget that we've got still a crisis with COVID. And let's forget that we still have a problem with people pouring across the channel in small boats. And let's forget that we're going to have food shortages. And let's forget that the mental health of the country is teetering, with a lot of noise being made about what we were going to do about it, but we've made that noise over the last 10 years. And what have we done about it? Sweet bugger all. That's what we've done. Huh. So get rid of Boris. Why not? Who are you going to put in his place? Does it matter? If you think he's doing a bad job, nobody can do a better job. And some of them would do a lot worse. So before you actually start to ponce around, prance around, and piss around up there in Westminster, start to look at your own neighbours, for God's sake. Start to think of what will happen if you actually get rid of the boss. Because what you wish for may be worse in the long run than what you've got. I'm not at all happy. I'm not at all happy. Perhaps you could tell. Let's go for a kind of a party with the many Vandals. Oh, that was lively enough, wasn't it? A kind of a party, the mini vandals. Hey, good stuff. Hey, really good stuff. Let's turn that down a little bit so we don't blast you out of bed. But why not? Let's blast you out of bed. Come and face the real world now that we've had the parties. Come and face the real world after Jubilee. It was wonderful to pull down the shutters on the nonsense that we've got. But we are going to continue with this nonsense until reform. Oh, gasps of horror. No MP out of the 650 wants reform. Reform? Oh, dear, 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 dear. No, 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 no. We can't have that. We most certainly cannot have that. But what we've got, we've twisted and mangled to the point where its original purpose has been lost. We've got to have X number of men, X number of women, X number of homosexuals, X number of black people, X number of this, and X number of that, and X number of this, and we'll give that a title. Until in the end, nobody is asking anymore, have we got people with any ability left in the House of Commons? And the fact of the matter is, no, none of the above. They're all as useless tits as each other. And at a time when we need, and the country is crying out for leadership, we try to change everything. Why? Because of a bloody cake with icing on it. And with some sympathy for Keir Starmer, because of a bottle of beer and a curry. I've forgotten about these things. Move on. No matter how many inquiries you have and how much mud throwing and you're using it for political purposes, it's not going to make any difference. Because I'll tell you, you lot are so bloody useless. I curse on all your houses. Why don't you actually do one of two things? Call an election. Call it now. And stand up and be counted. And forget whether in fact you would put in by the local political parties. Stand on your own merits. Let's do what the ancient Greeks did, for a while anyway, in Athens. Each man stands for himself. Each man puts his own case. Each man can be voted in by his fellows. Mind you, I'm just as scathing about the rest of us, as voters. What do we do? What do we do when it comes to voting? Oh, well, that nice Mr. So-and-so, yeah, he's so nice. He helped me choose my brand of cornflakes once in the supermarket. That's why I vote for him. Yeah, well, only about 30% of us vote in locals, and 70% is nudging it in nationals. It's about time that we started to get real. We are electing people for all the wrong reasons, and what happens is, when we reach a crisis, they haven't a clue what to do. They run around like fairy butterflies. And it's not good enough. It is not good enough. We expect better. But reform? Oh, I mean, that's the hands of the people who like to tuck all sorts of expenses into their pockets. They're not going to change. And in fairness, if I was there, I would think twice about reform. Oh, a nice little number this is. Subsidised bars, subsidised food, free travel, lots of reasons to buy birdhouses. Goodness gracious me. Change? We can't do that. We work too hard. And talking about work, a whole host of us, I come up with very important plans, very important policy when I'm waiting for the bus. And this morning I came up with a plan that nobody wants to go back to work. That's fine. For those people who want to work from home, half pay. Yeah, you don't want to go to work, you don't want to go to the office, it's fine. Well, you can still be useful, but on half pay. And then let's see how many people would actually rush to get back into the office. You start to do a decent day's work for a decent day's pay. instead of us being told we are 30th in the queue and it's likely to be 2.5 hours. And do you want to go online? No, I don't want to go online. I want to discuss things with people. I wouldn't be bothering you otherwise. Can't do that. Oh, goodness gracious me, no. We don't have enough people. Where are they? Well, they're all working from home. Yeah. Crazy, crazy, crazy. What sort of world have we created for ourselves and our children? Beyond the pale. It is beyond the pale. And it is not fair, and it is not just, and it is not. Lost my spectacles for a moment. Luckily, I am not reading from a script. Believe me, I am not reading from a script. What my comments are at the moment come from the heart, the white heart, but it's oh dear, yeah, here we go. We have no idea uh, what we're tapping on these phones anymore. I mean, that's another beef for me. Right. It's all about the vote last night, a vote of no confidence in Boris. And where did the votes come from? For and against? Well, the Times headline: A wounded victor. The vote of confidence in Prime Minister Boris Johnson. He won 211 votes to 148. It dominates Tuesday's front pages. The Times describes Mr. Johnson as a wounded victor and points out that a number of past Tory prime ministers have been forced to step down shortly after winning confidence votes by greater or similar margins. Well, who are you going to put in? That's the one question I can't get anybody to answer. Who are you going to put in? Who's the new leader? Yes, a deathly silence. Partly because they all think they can be, and secondly because none of them are capable. Jesus, the mind boggles to think that we've got mature people, supposedly mature people, thinking in this way and behaving in this way. For the first time in a long time, I really am not so sure that if we had an election tomorrow that I would vote. We have such an immature bunch of people representing us that do I want to give them room and space again for another 4 years? Never mind the leader. Who's going to take his place? There are so many of them that inspire confidence. Ha ha. Yes, absolutely, don't they? The Financial Times: Johnson wounded in confidence votes as 41% of Tory MPs rebel. Well, 41% of T they lost. So what's their response? Oh, we'll keep on. We'll keep on. And that's politics today, isn't it? Let's have a vote on this, right? Oh, there's the result. We didn't like the result, so we'll keep on having a vote until we get the result. Bloody nonsense. Get on with the job that we're paying you for. Get on with the job we elected for you for. Get on with some sort of a job, because you're becoming the most useless bloody tits that we have in this whole United Kingdom. And that goes for Scotland and Northern Ireland and Wales too, in case they're feeling smoke. They're not much better up there, or down there, or across there. Metro. The party is over, Boris. Huh. Well, the Metro. You can never tell the Metro which way it's going to jump. But it is a London paper. The party is over, Boris, the paper says. The Prime Minister's days in Downing Street now look numbered. He's called, they say, Boris is quoted as saying, the vote is convincing and decisive. A very good result for politics and the country. Well, you're as daft as the rest of them, Boris. The Mirror. PM's confidence vote disaster. The party's over, Boris. Well, you'd expect the Mirror to say that, wouldn't you? Yes. Roger Gale. My cross swords with some years ago. I'd be surprised if he's still in Downing Street by the end of the autumn. The Guardian, PM clinging to power after vote humiliation. The Eye, wounded Johnson in peril. The Daily Star, carry on Pinocchio. I love going to the Star for a little laugh. Of course, the puppet Pinocchio, whose nose grew whenever he told lies. The Star has got a picture of Boris with his nose stuck right out. That the thing is that all the people that the Star has got caricatures or photographs or whatever. All the other leading politicians, they should all have their noses out. They're all lying and cheating. They're all worthless. There's not one of them that I would trust with a cup of tea, let alone the country. Carry on, Pinocchio. Well done, the Star. The Daily Telegraph. Hollow victory tears Tories apart. Well, it's only because the Tories are allowing themselves to be torn apart. By God, I'll tell you, Labour didn't have to do anything. The stupidity of the people that we've elected is so apparent, that now here we are faced with crisis politics when we've got so many crises, including the stepping up of the war in Ukraine. Did you know about that? No, because no newspaper has put it on its front page. No television station or radio station has put it at the top of its news agenda. It's all about a bloody piece of cake with icing on it at Christmas. What nonsense. What absolute rubric. The Sun. Night of the Blonde Knives. The Prime Minister was stabbed in the back by 148 rebels in Monday's vote, says the Sun. The paper also quotes Mr. Johnson saying, "We are going to bash on." Daily Express, defiant and unbowed. Boris, I'll lead the party to victory. Well, he will, you know. That's exactly what will happen if they stopped tampering and got on with the work and gave us just a little bit of confidence that any of those people in the Tory party are worth anything. And don't actually crow Labour. You're just as bad. In fact, your lot are worse than this lot. And that's really what it's all about, is voting for the worst or the best of a bad lot. The Daily Mail, Boris vows, I'll bash on. Well, it's just a whole mess, and one that I would prefer isn't clogging up what needs to be done for the country. Let's go to Young Logos, your love. Well, maybe your love. Not so sure that would inspire me romantically, but there we are. Um, what we need to see is what's going on with the weather. Uh, it's it's going to hit 19 degrees today. We have light cloud and a gentle breeze. Probably much like yesterday, which wasn't too bad. And in late afternoon, the sun is going to peek through. And tomorrow, we can expect sunshine, some rain, and 18 degrees. Thursday, 20, gentle breeze, a little bit of rain. Friday, 19. And next Saturday, brilliant sunshine all day, no cloud, 20 degrees. Well, if it keeps up that pattern, then not too bad. For today, 19 degrees, gentle breeze, light cloud, some rain. Oh, yes, let's see. Let's make sure that we've got everything going in the right direction. I just took a moment to pour myself a cup of coffee. And perhaps you can hear the clink as I pick up the cup. Mm. Yes, I really enjoyed having that sip of coffee. I always remember that in Kosovo, on one morning I was up in the army barracks. A colonel came in, muttering to himself. Decaf, decaf, he said. I need a shot of caffeine in the morning to get me going. Don't we all? And that's what I'd like to think I'm getting at the moment, a shot of caffeine. And then apart from the idiots that we've got in Parliament, it's going to be a half decent day. It'll be rather nice if it is. It may be. I was just about to rub my eye, and I remembered that it's the eye that I've been operated on, and I'm supposed to leave it alone, not like a pussycat or a dog is poor at it. I'm supposed to be far too mature for that, and that even if there's discomfort, is not to rub it. But you forget, in the heat of battle, and boy, am I in a war at the moment, not in Ukraine, but in Westminster. Mind you, I'm absolutely certain of victory because the opposition is made up of complete dickheads, complete dolts, complete idiots. Hades cure for what's going on in this country. It's for all 650 of them to resign and take an extended holiday so that we can have a national debate on what we should put in its place. No, I'm not advocating revolution. But what I am advocating is stop party politics. Why not let the groupings act naturally over any given issue? Stop ratios, a few of this and a few of that. We are seeing the result of that strategy, and that is people who are useless and worthless and really don't lead us in any way whatsoever. As Brewster would say, none of the above. None of the above. What do you think of that? $100% approval rating, I would say. Right, okay. So let's move on and move back to what's happening in this particular daytime. It is now 8 o'clock. It is the 7th of June, And it is the year 2022, a year I think will go down in infamy. In the books that recapture or recall various years that are of particular importance in our history, 2022 will go down very high anyway in the ratings, but for all the wrong reasons. All the wrong reasons. I keep on hearing about old people. We don't understand this and we don't understand that. Well, I'll tell you something. If understanding is running the country and running the institutions the way that you do, then I would say misunderstanding is better than understanding. Because you're doing a lousy, lousy job of it. You're a generation that probably, not of its own volition, not of its own fault, came through that period where we experimented with our education. And what have we turned out? A whole bunch of losers. I mean, complete losers. It's I can't tell you how much I think that we are. You think, and particularly if you're somebody who's calling for Boris's head, who are you going to put in its place? Who are you going to? And sometimes there is leadership potential lurking in the bushes. I can't see it. If you can, let me know. But I most certainly cannot see it. I cannot see who's going to replace it. And actually, if we get him replaced the way that the French got their president replaced, boy, we are in trouble. See, Macron is talking about appeasing Moscow. Can't make it up. You really can't make it up. But there we go. There we go. I think we had better. Whoops. Hey. Oh, I'm going to play The Breeze by Telecasted. I can't take it anymore. Oh, I thought that wasn't too bad. It was lively enough and had a nice sort of uh, melody to it, if that's the right word. Not bad at all. We'll have to remember that. Breeze with telecasting. Aha! So that's taken us to 8:06, and it is time to think about some of the key issues that are. Right. Google Photos have made a special edition for me on my phone, which would probably be totally and utterly useless. But still, um, a time that we thought more carefully about the sort of people we want to see leading us. You know, people in the past, I remember my headmaster saying to me, because I was a bit of a useless tit at school, and they were worried I was going to be thrown out into the world without being able to make my own way. What they hadn't realised is I'm tough as old boot. Still, uh, when he said, Hayes, if we still governed India, you would have been excellent for the Indian civil service. A certain moderation of common sense. Your second 15 material, your second 11 material, you will get a modest rate in your exams. Generally speaking, you are a moderate man, and that's exactly what they're looking for. Well, no more, because first of all, we don't govern India anymore. Uh, the right to self-determination, so I'm not going to get involved. But I wonder if what we are now looking for in our own country is those people that we would have appointed to the Indian civil service that are moderate and modest in their demands, moderate and modest in their tastes, and moderate and modest in their actions. Is that what we should be looking for instead of what we get? A bunch of people who, the moment they see a little bit of blood on the ground, say, oh yes, we can do much better than that. Why didn't they before the blood was spilled? Very sad in many ways. Very, very sad. Okay, it's 8:08, and I think if we play once more one of their well, Zula by the Mini Vandals will see us out this morning, I think. past 8 o'clock, and that was Zula by the Mini Vandals. So we managed to retrieve a little bit of music this morning. Right, before we leave you, let us look again at the newspaper front pages, this time without comment. Ho, 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 ho! The Times, a wounded victor. The financial management group from the Financial Times. It also shows a photo of the territory which, if you like, Boris is defending or has just won. Although I'm not sure that means much. The Metro, which is the London paper. The party is over, Boris. A bit premature, I think. Mirador. The party's confidence vote disaster. Huh. You notice that in the commercial time is nobody challenges us over that. They don't want us to take time debating whether the party is over for a whole host of people or not. It doesn't seem a very popular topic. The Guardian, PM clinging to power after vote humiliation. The Eye, wounded Johnson in peril. The Star, carry on Pinocchio, having been the guardian of the champagne for yesterday particular lunchtime. Pinocchio, says the Star, with reference to the puppet in, I think it's Hans Christian Andersen, is it? Yes, whose nose grows every time he tells a fibber. And they've got Boris with a big nose. The Daily Telegraph, hollow victory tears the Tories apart. Well, it needn't. But I don't think that you've got the nous or the intelligence to realise that what you do is you need to put this thing back together again, and fast. The Sun, Night of the Blonde Knives. Oh dear. Stabbed in the back by 148 Tories, it says. Daily Express, defiant and unbowed, Boris says, I'll lead the party to victory. And the Daily Mail says, well, we're offered another studio there. Why not? And that really is about it. And I think that's it for this morning as we go to prepare, ready for our television program, to make sure everything is okay there. So, thank you for being with me. Thank you for not knocking my block off, for me saying that I have no confidence in those people that we have in the I was going to say the Tower of London. It's a good place for them. Yeah, in Westminster. And if I may say so, is the Hayes suggestion of every last one of them resigning, everyone last of them then standing up for themselves, no matter what they've been told by their managers, is probably the only way forward. And if that's looking too much on sex, so be it. So be it. Toodle pip. Okay, goodbye. Until tomorrow morning at the same time, 7:30. This is Muriel Television about to come up, and this was Rouser Radio leading up to it. Toodle pip.